Let's get right into the law of rhythm. How can I use it to my advantage in my leadership, libido, and relationships? We are blessed with cycles. And for those of us that are still bleeding, please honor we have that piece of evidence to follow. For those that are no longer bleeding, maybe because of contraception or you're beyond menopause, we use other evidence, such as irritability, energy level, body aches, libido, creativity, constipation, desire to socialize, feeling external versus feeling internal, okay? It's cyclic, my friends, I promise. And for those of you that are on hormonal contraception, it is slightly shifted, but it's still there. And even if you're on the patch or the ring or the pill, and that bleeding is just a withdrawal bleed, it's different. And so we get to navigate this in a really personalized way for you. And the place to start is to track. And I also want to say out loud, contraception is important, okay? You having ownership of your fertility, if you know that you don't want to get pregnant right now and you're sexually active, by no means am I suggesting that you stop contraception. I will say, for the right individual who's willing to really know her body, my preference is non-hormonal contraception, and I have run a teen clinic, and I ran a Planned Parenthood, and I've prescribed lots and lots of contraception. I've put in probably 100 IUDs, maybe more. I mean, so like, I get it. We get to have ownership, but it does kind of shift the conversation a tad. So the menstrual cycle can be seen as a way to awaken an internal process that takes us to the most intimate places within ourselves. Hear this, intimate places within ourselves. I think we spend so much of our lives externally, you know, I'm like, holy macaroni, the Instagram messages, the Facebook messages, the emails, the bombardment, and things happening so dang fast. And it's a unifying consciousness, the feminine in action. It's a big, bold source of connection. And it's so ironic. I'm actually talking about our menstrual cycle being that thing that is our femininity in its full expression, even beyond menopause. And it is a source of us connecting with one another as women. And so today I'm going to kind of get into leadership, libido, and relationships and how we can really be potent and powerful and profound in those areas by honoring the cycle. So when I think about women in our 20s and our 30s, our cycle supports our agency, our ambition, our vitality, our experimentation and goals and learning, and we assert our desires and we really start building. It's a time where we declare, this is me. It's always so fun for me when women in their 20s and 30s come in and they start consuming the content that I give. Because I'm like, yeah! Because what I hear on the other end is women in their 50s and 60s and 70s, often in tears, say, I wish I would have known this stuff. And so if that's you and you're here consuming it, I applaud you. And if you're inviting your daughters and your nieces and sharing this, I applaud you. Okay, so then for women in our 40s and 50s, it's a time of more depth. Okay, it has more complexity. It has more subtlety. We feel a little bit more comfortable being able to be in the space of the unknown, and we become a lot more unapologetic. It's less about the ego and it's more about meaning of life on the planet, right? We start, hopefully, at some point, thinking about global responsibility, right? In a fierce way. And each month, we ride the currents of a cycle that is a kind of a mini version of life's journey. I think of the time in our 40s. So listen, average age of menopause is 51 and a half. Most women enter perimenopause as early as 35. They just don't know it. And perimenopause can last as long as like 35 to 55. How do we know we're in menopause? Well, we go 12 months without bleeding. Unless you are on some contraception that's preventing you from bleeding, then we have to find another way to know. And I think of that perimenopause chapter as kind of like the other bookend of puberty. It's when the caterpillar grows into the chrysalis, and you know what happens? It becomes goo. goo. Who am I? I don't know. Where did my feet go? I don't have any wings. And that caterpillar, when it's in the chrysalis, takes on multiple versions of, let me try on these wings. Yeah, no, maybe, I don't know. No, okay, go back to goo. This is uncomfortable. And in that, women reach out to me and they're putting on weight, and there is new anxiety, and there's new sleep disturbances, and sometimes new depression, and feeling like, I think I want to change careers. I think I want to move. I don't know, right? And we're just like, yeah, how spectacular. And then menopause, that final phase, the feeling, the readiness of a woman's spirit to claim their wild power. It's like stepping off a cliff, so to speak. And I haven't done it yet, but I have a lot of clients who have. And I hear these stories, I hear these themes. I'm stepping off the cliff. And the butterfly is emerging. And there's the wings. And it requires great courage